Okay, welcome to another video. This is another one talking about roles in Final Cut Pro. I'm going to be exporting my audio to an AAF file for sending to Pro Tools or some other professional mixing software for audio mixing. Now, Final Cut doesn't have inbuilt AAF export, and there are a few different pieces of software you can use to export AAFs, and Roles basically makes the final product that you send to your mixer a bit more superior than perhaps an inbuilt AAF function would do on another editing platform. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of software that's quite new. It's called AAF Everything. You can download a free demo, and I've tidied up all my audio. There's no video in this, it's just the audio. And as you can see, I've got all my roles here. I've got my dialogue, my retime dialogue, my background dialogue. Now, you could argue you could have these as sub roles, but I just wanted to add them as roles, just to have more roles to give you an idea of what roles can do. I've got my diegetic effects, I've got my regular effects, etc., etc. So I've got my edit here. I go up to my extensions, and that's where AAF Everything lives. And you just grab your project and put it into the window. Now I've got my output destination set to desktop. I want an AAF. I want the frame rate to remain the same as the source. Second page is what to do with the media. Now I want to have what's called an embedded AAF. I want to export an AAF that has all of the media associated with the cut inside the AAF file itself. So I want to do that. Collect media next output. I want that on. I want to transcode any MXF audio. I don't think there is any in there. Separate combined channels. Yes, I want to separate all those multi-channel WAVs. So there's a separate file for each channel. And it says here, embed the media. Yes, I want to do that. And it's set to 48 frames, so there's going to be 2-second handles on the media, and complete files. I don't want that on. If I turn that on, then it's going to copy the entire source files into the AAF, which I don't want. That's going to be enormous. You can have an AAF that's what's called an empty AAF, which just has all the data in it, and then you send the original files to your audio mixer. But we're not going to do that. We're going, for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to have an embedded AAF. So that's all set. I'm going to continue there. I'm going to include everything here: fades, markers, all that's going to go across. Disabled clips, and I'm going to turn those off. And then here I have my roles layout. So here I can map out how I want my roles to appear in the audio mixing software. So I want to put my music right at the bottom. I want to have my diegetic effects just below, or maybe above the effects. I want my background dialogue below the dialogue. Atmos there, wild track there. That's all fine. Let me open up and I can see my sub roles. Now, in order to create a bit less media for the mixer to have to deal with, I'm going to turn off the mix left-right sub-roll. I'm going to do that for the effects as well. And for the diegetic effects, turn those off. Don't think there's none for the effects. That's just less for the mixer to have to deal with. And they've got the boom and the lav audio. So I'm happy with that layout, and if we want to, I can just preview it. So there we go. If I click that, that gives me an idea of what my tracks are going to look like in Pro Tools or in Fairlight, as I'm going to show you. I don't have Pro Tools to show you. So as you can see, it's put some ADR that I've recorded there. It's got my voiceover track there. All of my dialogue looks good, and all of these labels will translate over to the audio mixing software as well. So I'm quite happy with that. I'll close that and I'll just click export. And off it goes. It's going to create all those bits of media and put it all into an AAF file. So that's all done. Let's go to my desktop. And here we are. There's my AAF file, and here's a little report text file. I can open that up and it will tell me everything it's done and any problems it could have encountered on the way, and it's even got a little map there of the track layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Resolve, and I'm going to import this timeline. And I click on the AAF, which is 93.7 megabytes. Open that up. OK, that. In it all goes. Let me click on the Fairlight tab. and just zoom that in. And there we can see that all seems to have gone across quite nicely. As you can see, my effects have got their fade handles on them. I've got some keyframing there, which is maintained. I've also got this crossfade here on my the wild track here. You can see, as you can see, all rather nicely. Each channel is labelled as it was as a role, which is great. So once your mix has imported that, they know exactly what's on each track, and they can just start mixing. They don't have to figure anything out or do any detective work. They can just crack on and get to work. So there we go. That is how you export an AAF file to send to an audio mixer for mixing. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. Follow me on social media, and also see in the description for a link to buy me a coffee, but preferably tea, 2 sugars. Thank you.